Yo, what up? It's AaroniMoses, and this video is called Want What You're Willing to Work For. Now, this is more so making sure that you understand that you don't need to be judging people, comparing yourself to people, envying people, being jealous of people. I watched an interview by Offset of the Migos, and in this interview, he said he made his solo album, Father of Four, an album that was more on the scale of concept rap. And he wanted to rap about things that weren't pretty much talking about things that people don't have. And I think this is really important because a lot of the messages that we receive lead us to be envious, lead us to look outside ourselves for happiness, lead us to want things that we're not willing to work for, number one, and number two, leading us to want things that have consequences that we are unaware of. All the jewels, all the clothes and the cars and things that we don't understand the consequences for or of are being fed to us. Now, people tell me that I'm lucky to have a child and that I'm lucky to do these things, lucky to do these things, all these trophies that you may perceive as trophies in my life. But at the same time, me having that same thought pattern has led me down paths that have given me certain pains that I wasn't prepared for. Now, you could say, oh, Aaron Moses, you have this $3,000 chain, you have this beautiful, smart child, you have this beautiful, intelligent wife. You don't know, you don't know what I've done to not only prepare and obtain these material and non-material things. You don't know what I have to do to maintain these things. You don't know how it feels to wake up to all these responsibilities, to have to protect these non-material things and these material things. You know, a wise man once told me, anything you build needs to be protected. Anything that you obtain needs to be protected. Now, if I had a $50,000 chain and a Hellcat, I'm a felon. I can't have a gun, right? So if somebody runs up on me, it's pretty much a wrap. I'm gonna have to give it up or something. Okay, I don't have a whole bunch of people on my side that are gonna take all kind of charges for me. It's just that's just not my reality. So if I did, which I do want some of those material things, it would be a bigger challenge for me. I would have to sacrifice a little bit more than the average person in order to maintain said things. But when people tell me that they want a child or they want a girlfriend or they want a boyfriend or they want this, what are you prepared? What can you handle right now? And if you can't handle those things, you need to be preparing for them. You need to be disciplining yourself. You need to be studying up on how to not only obtain those things, but protect them. And you also need to detach yourself from the fact that this thing may or may not make you happier. This thing may make you happier. You need to be detaching yourself from the fact that you think you know what goes on in the life in the minds of the people who have these things. Now people have a lot of opinions on how I maintain my lifestyle and the relationships that I do with my family members and my son. But at the same time, you can't do what I do, and I can't do what you do. If you had more, if I perceived what you have as more than me, I can't tell you that I want what you have because I have no idea what you've gone through to get these things. I have no idea what you're going through to protect and maintain these things. So for me to say that I want what you want would be inappropriate. For me to judge your situation, for me to tell you that what you're doing is good or bad or responsible or irresponsible. Yes, this is why we have laws. There's certain things that you absolutely obviously should not be doing. There's certain situations that you should not be handling in certain ways. But do you really know what it takes to do the things that you've never done before? A lot of people, when I was younger, I didn't have this perception. A lot of people are okay just paying their bills and decompressing from their day and repeating the cycle, not trying to start a business, not trying to make any wise investments, just trying to save their money and prepare for a rainy day. And now I understand that a lot of people would be much better off doing that than chasing their dreams, than pursuing uh, a career that's going to pay them well. It's in my opinion that, I mean, it shouldn't take all that to get a okay paying job, to make sure that you can take your family on a vacation once a year or once every couple of years. It shouldn't take you getting all kind of tests and doing this and having all kind of qualifications, depending on what you do. Of course, certain careers you definitely should. The more responsibility and the more difficult the task, yeah, you should have to meet certain requirements. But for somebody to make a certain amount of money and to have vacation time and benefits, I don't think it should take too much for people to still be making $9 an hour where the rent is $1,000. That's just ridiculous. That means there's gonna have to be three people in that household making more than $9 an hour to survive, pay all the bills, and not have to worry about too much. Three adults, okay, or at least two adults and one minor working a job, which is a pretty strange situation for some of us as Americans to be in. But at the end of the day, I know it's hard not to hate. I know it's hard not to envy and be jealous and not it's hard not to want what other people have. But at the end of the day, you don't know what it takes. You don't know what kind of mental and psychological brilliance that person has. And you don't know what they go through. So you wanting what other people have, it's expected, but you have to transcend that thinking. You have to transcend that nature that you've been blessed and cursed with. Just realize you have no idea what people have going on and you don't know what it takes to protect. Even if you have a good idea, even if you read it in books and you've seen other people do it, you don't know what's going on. You have no idea. Want what you want what you can work for. Appreciate, be thankful. That's what it means. And then when you're thankful, when you're grateful, when you're appreciative, add. Add knowledge, add wisdom, add understanding, add education, add philosophy, add different cultures. Experiment, play with it. Learn what needs to be done. Prepare, motivate, discipline yourself. And then when you have all of that, then go for it. But you just blindly trying to invest in things that you have nothing, that you know nothing about, that's just gonna put you down a path, a different path, usually that you did not want to travel down. And that's all I have to say. All right, it's Aaron Moses. Life is in the breath. Peace.